Little Blood TV exclusive. Back again with another Little Blood TV exclusive. Powered by Tucker Media, of course. Um, this is a very, very interesting interview right here. I have a young lady sitting across from me, young Nadia, by the name of Nadia. Um, my sister reached out to me. Shout out Dee Dee. She always alley hooping. If y'all are friends of the show, y'all know my little sister always throw me alley hoops. Shout out my little sister. But I've been wanting to have this conversation for a while now, but I haven't found anyone. I haven't found no real one. You get what I'm saying? Bold enough to sit across and have this conversation. So Miss Nadia once was a lady of the night. You feel me? And she tapped in like, man, I want to tell my story. Like, I want to talk about my life. And I salute you, young lady,
Thank you.
because you know that's what's going on in our culture. That's what's going on around us, especially being from where we're from, Northern California. We're heavy on that.
Bay
And
Area.
Bay Area,
Yeah.
period. Like, yeah, we're heavy on that. And yeah. So let's get straight into it. How old was you when you first started getting down?
So when I first actually, I feel like I entered the game, and a lot of girls probably won't say this. I started dancing at 19, and that's a stepping stone into the game, if not fully getting into the game.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, at 19, I started dancing, and I was doing that for a while, and then you just kind of dibble and dabble into kind of things. I took a break from that lifestyle, and then maybe when it was about, I want to say I was like 23,
Hmm.
I was 10 toes down, like fully into the game.
So did you turn out folks or you just turned yourself out?
I feel like in the beginning I turned myself out, but who really taught me to the game, I was turned out by folks. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And stripping. Let's talk about stripping for a minute. With the dancing. Was it the fast money you was addicted to? Or you was just like, what was it about dance? What made you start dancing?
So my story is not pretty common, I would say. Like I grew up in the suburbs. I had a good family. Like there was a little fighting and shit, but it was nothing extreme.
Hmm.
It was a pretty normal life. And I think this is where people say that if it's just in you, it's in you. You know what I mean? So I think I just wanted to escape the fast money. I just wanted to be able to rule my life, and it became addicting. And when you're young, it just became really fun. It was just fun.
Right,
It's
right.
hella fast money, drinks, drugs, just everything.
Right, 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 right.
Shaking your ass, you're young, is fun.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right.
And
So okay, from dancing. You went from dancing in the clubs or just
yeah, so I was dancing in the clubs. I was dancing in San Jose. I was dancing in San Francisco. I went down to LA. And what changed things for me is when I was in LA, I got addicted to drugs, like heavily.
wow,
Yeah,
okay.
so the drugs kind of took me out and kind of made me lose focus.
Why is that? Why you think a lot of young ladies in that field like turn to drugs? Is it to like hide something or what is it? What do you think that is? Or what was it for you?
I think it's to numb feelings, you know what
Okay.
I mean? And miseducation about certain things. Um, somebody could turn you out onto drugs just like they can turn you onto the game.
Right, right,
And when you're young, you're naive and you could be manipulated, then that is just gonna happen.
right.
Yeah.
When you started out, what it was more internet or you was stoned down? You was
I was
concrete
I
with it.
was track star.
Track star.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a track star and the internet?
It's on the internet. Well, so when I started, Backpage had just got shut down. So I feel like I didn't really have much of a choice as I was doing it for a while. Then the internet thing came into play. Internet 304 basically is just working from her phone. She has a hotel room. She working from her phone. She posting ads, stuff like that.
Right.
Or there's the girls that are outside on International, on MacArthur, on McDonald, on all these streets, just outside.
So for you, honestly, keep it real nigga shit.
Hmm.
What would you rather, sit in the room and collect money, or would you rather concrete?
Concrete. I'd rather
Concrete.
be out and get it. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
is concrete?
Um, I don't like to sit around and wait around for people to come to me. I'm gonna go
Talk
get it.
about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go get it. Like,
Because it's a
yeah.
stigma, right? Females who play the internet think they're too good for the
Yeah.
concrete or think they're better than concrete women.
Well, I think there's levels to it all, right? So you could be thinking you're better than a concrete hoe, but I can say that on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, carpet hoes getting that money, you know, and it's still the same thing. Your foot to pavement, your foot to carpet, like you out there getting it. You're finding them outside of them having to reach you. The
Right.
world's a track. Like you just gotta find it.
Say that again.
Yeah,
the
the
world's
world's
a
a
track.
track.
You just
Like,
gotta find it.
yeah.
That's dope as fuck. So did you travel a lot?
Unfortunately, no. I just was around the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real shit. What's the most money you think you've seen in one night?
Ooh, you getting deep. I would say probably like 2K.
2K?
Yeah.
And that's like on the average. What's the average night?
An average night was at least 7, 8, 9, 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's consistent though.
Yeah, I was 10 toes down all night. Though.
Right.
It wasn't like quick in the beginning, at least. When you first turned out to the game, you just learning.
Right.
You soaking everything in. You understanding how to even talk to a trick.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is mouthpiece.
Oh yeah. You gotta have
it.
finesse. You gotta have mouthpiece. You gotta be able to know to sell yourself.
Right. What was some learning experience that you learned from that?
Ooh, that's a hard. There's a lot of things I learned about it. I mean, just how pussy rules the world.
Talk to
You know,
me.
it. You start to see it in everyday society. Everybody's doing this thing. All women feel like their love is transactional, and why not? Why
Right.
shouldn't it be? I feel like I just learned so much that I could apply to every day. I always say, like, if I could sell myself, I could sell anything. You know, so that's why I run and I hustle and I'm able to do things because I sold myself. You know, I could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm.
How do you feel about strippers? Like, oh, I never sell my pussy or blase. How do you feel about that?
That's cool if you don't want to, but you're not better than a bitch that does.
Right.
You're not, like, because it's still a fantasy that you're selling. And actually, with more experience, I feel like hoes start to be able to finesse it out of them without having to even fuck. Like,
Right.
you know, so how can you judge somebody for what they got to do to feed their kids or feed their family or
Right.
whatever? Just do you. Get your money. Why are you worried about the next person?
Right.
Yeah.
And the goal is, because I see it a lot now that social media is popping.
Hell
And
yeah.
me personally, I believe social media fucked up the game.
Oh, for sure.
I believe
For
it fucked
sure.
up from the game.
Yeah.
And me personally, the reason why I say that, because I know it used to be straightforward. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it used to be straightforward. Like, the bitch knew her position, the nigga knew his position. And it's like now these bitches just want to be niggas.
Mhm.
And they don't respect the game anymore.
Mhm.
Like, you know, they want to
They
pop
don't
off.
respect ism no more.
They don't
Yeah.
respect ism. Say that. Why is it important to respect the ism?
I think, like you said, the internet has fucked up a lot of the games. So,
From a woman point of view, why has the internet fucked it up?
because when I started, there was no shit on the internet about it. You couldn't, like, I see it two ways because I understand when you have a stressful job and it is stressful and you're doing it every day, all day, you want like an outlet. But now that everyone can see your outlet and it becomes going viral and everybody's relating to that shit, the rules of the actual streets is no longer applicable, it seems like. There's a rule book. Like, there's a way that this is supposed to go. And I think that it's okay when you've soaked up enough game to maybe not want to pay somebody, or, you know, you could do it better than cool. But that's also because there's not a lot of ism out here no more.
Right.
It's a lot of,
Boyfriend shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
boyfriend pimping, simp shit, like a lot of that.
Right. And like I said, I believe the internet made it that way.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Sure.
reason I say that, because like, bitches is controlling niggas with money now.
Yeah.
And they're controlling them in a way to where, like, a nigga is just really dependent on this one bitch, like,
Yeah.
and the money he's bringing her, or the money she's bringing him. So, you know, she get to being disrespectful and calling them all type of bitches and just, you know, just doing shit that's an abomination to this shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think that, sorry to cut you off, but I think that a lot of these men are not being taught the game too.
say that.
You know?
Say that.
So it's like they're over here got a bitch on the blade, right? And then they're also over here around the corner paying this bitch to
Mm,
fuck,
right, right,
or like they're leaned the fuck out, or they're young, or they're nowhere to be called when something goes down.
right,
You
right.
can't handle a bitch's responsibilities, then you shouldn't be in the game. That's a
Mm,
part of it. It's
so,
not just getting money off a bitch. It's
right,
a whole ism is about taking care of these people. So when that's not happening, and I don't see that happening a lot no more, then these girls are gonna start having their own opinions, thinking that they could run over all that type of shit.
right, right.
Yeah.
For to you though, do you think it was important to pay pimping?
At the time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because protection, teaching me the game. Like I got to give my ex folks his flowers. Like he did teach me the game. Something that I personally wouldn't have known how to do correctly.
Right, right, right,
Now
right,
I do, but back then I didn't.
right.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I was a square. I was a straight square.
Okay.
Um, that's all I knew.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. So now that you're selling lashes,
Yes.
do you take the street game and you incorporate it with that?
I feel like the street game, it just is. I apply it to everything now. It's weird. Like I can't not do it. But yes, I do it with my business as
Now
well.
keep it real.
Yeah.
If you can start over and do it all over again, would you change anything?
About the game, like
Yeah.
joining it. The only thing I would change is not getting caught up in drugs.
Mm.
That really like set me back because I would be somewhere totally different right now. I don't
Right.
think I would take it back at
Do you
all.
think the stress issue was the reason you picked up the drugs?
I think it was, yeah, it could have been stress, but it was even before I was like stomped down outside. It was just a lot of mm, manipulation and relationship shit that got me into that.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Was you one of them females that paid a lot of different niggas, or you
No,
just
never.
had
I only had one folks.
one folks your
Yeah.
whole career?
My whole career, yeah.
That's right. How do you feel about them? The women that the bitches that choose, and choose. Like,
Um, I did see a lot of that when I was outside. I just don't trust people like that, so I don't know how they do that. But I mean, sometimes it does have to be a vibe. It does have to have some type of romanticism to it. You guys have to connect. So some of these girls are just looking for that, I
right.
think.
How did you deal with wifeys?
They were cool. Just there was nobody that ever stuck. I'm also not a very jealous person. I understand. Like I feel like I'm very smart, so I was able to pick up the game.
Nah, don't lie.
I
Don't
swear
sit
I
here in
wasn't I wanted
front.
some help. You feel me?
Okay,
Like
say
let's
that
get this
then.
money. I really wasn't tripping off it unless there was some weird shit going on.
Uh-huh.
Then I would feel some type of way. But it was always just about getting some money.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right. Let's talk about the wifey thing for a minute.
Hmm.
That shit could be a distraction. It can fuck up a nigga whole program.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A bitch can be really messy.
Definitely, definitely. And for me, it's like bitches get jealous of each other. Like, oh, she's sitting in the front seat, or you're texting her more, or you're talking to her more. You didn't deal with that at all.
I think that other people did towards me, but for me it was just like I don't know, maybe because my folks at the time was older than me,
Uh-huh.
so he always instilled in me like you each earn your positions, you feel me,
Right.
like it's about how much money you make, it's about who's making the most money, that's how you get to where you're at. So if she made more than me today and she's sitting in the front, why the fuck would I care?
Right, right.
As long as we all a team. But I think that's where it gets lost. I swear to you, I felt like I never really got jealous. Now, if two people dip off and don't say nothing to me, then I'm gonna feel some type of way,
Right.
But that's also part of the game. What can I say?
Off camera, you was telling me something about 304 talk or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So on TikTok, which TikTok is like pretty new, and it's got a lot of you can see everything on it. Once you start interacting with anything that got to do with 304 stripping, it starts showing you all those type of posts. There's so many girls on there posting like the game for free, or what they think you should do, or how to get into stripping. I'm gonna show you how to become a stripper. I'm gonna show you how to be a 304, and I just feel like that's fucking up the game.
Mm.
Like all the strip clubs, all the blade, all of it, it's like oversaturated right now. and it's not some real game shit. Like the game is supposed to be like a secret society. Like I don't
Right.
really
Speak
know
on it. Yes.
why so much of it is being given for free. You know, like you pay for game, whether it's a female or pimping. Like that's what you do. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's dangerous. I think you send in random girls, everybody thinking it's okay to do it, and then they don't realize the bad side of it.
Right.
You know.
What made you get out?
I got pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter, and I had a girl, so I feel like kids are given to you by God for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to slow down the way I was living.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Did your parents find out?
Yeah.
What was their reaction?
They were not happy at all. They were absolutely like devastated, but I was able to rebuild my relationship with them now, but it was just something. They're not even from here, from this country, so it was very foreign to them. They were like, "What
What the
the
fuck?
fuck?
Where they
What the
from?
fuck?" I'm Middle Eastern, so I'm
Okay.
Arab.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they just were like, it was something that was so different for them. But when they seen that I'm okay now, I think that they've trusted me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Wow. I know Arabs are raised totally different from Americans. Totally different. How the fuck did you venture off into that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I always say I really don't know. Like,
Were you sheltered as a child?
yeah.
Do you
But I
think
still feel like I made things happen. Like, I don't know.
right? But do you think being sheltered? Because my son is kind of sheltered, and do you think being sheltered make a child more curious?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I do think it makes them more curious. It's about letting them explore, but to a safe amount. And I feel like I didn't have that at all. It was just their first generation here. They didn't even know how to have certain conversations with me.
Right.
And so that could be the difference where you can communicate to your kids. They didn't even know how to do that at the time.
Right. Right.
So I'm seeing all my friends around me living different. So I'm trying to live like them, you know?
Right. 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 Was you ashamed when people started finding out what you was doing?
When my family did, I was. When other people found out, I was just like, whatever.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
How deep you was in the game? How many years was in the game before your parents found out?
I think they found out well, they found out quick because I went to jail a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got picked on, I feel like. Yeah. I
Right.
would
Right.
go to
Right.
jail a
Right.
lot. So that's when they found. I think that was probably like 6 months into the game.
Um, Back in your day when you was fucking around, what blade was it that you felt you made the most money on?
Richmond.
Richmond?
Yeah.
Why Richmond?
I don't know. I was just eating out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe because I look different. I don't know. I feel like I did cool pretty much. No, San Jose.
San Jose?
San Jose, yeah. But San Jose was always hot. That's where I always went to jail. But it was higher paying tricks out there.
What about the socializing?
Man, I feel like if you understand your program, it's cool to have friends. You know what I mean? Because the women are the only people that can really relate to what you're doing.
Right.
But when it's distracting you and you getting caught up in the drama, or you worried about her folks or whatever she got going on, then it's a problem.
Right. Right. It would be tweaky to me how females will pay a nigga and still fuck on their baby daddy or fuck on their boyfriend. And did you ever do anything like that, like paying your nigga and have a little boyfriend on the side type shit?
I don't think so. I was really deep into the day to day. Like me and him were 10 toes down together, like 24/7, and wifeys would come and go. It was never like he was too far away from me for that to even happen. And I
Right.
didn't have a baby daddy at the time.
Right.
I think like I would do things like finesse his friends to pay me.
Speak on it. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, they would behind his back be trying to fuck on me. And I mean, even to this day, it's hard for me to fuck for free,
Right.
you know? So it's like, I'm gonna get something out of you.
Right. Right. You ever fucked the trick and enjoyed it? Don't lie to me. Don't lie.
I mean, yeah, it's probably like a handful of times, maybe once or twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't that dangerous though?
It is dangerous, but you got to know what's the difference between sex and more than that. You know, like I feel like I've detached from that part so much. I know it's still work, but sometimes you can enjoy work.
Right, right.
Yeah.
What's the stigma? Why females don't like dating black chicks?
Um, so a lot of black tricks, either they can trick you and pull. I've actually had an experience with something like this when I first got in the game. They'll pull up. Sometimes they'll be older, and you're like, "Oh, it's cool." Um, will talk to you like a trick and really be pimping once y'all
Mm,
drive away.
mm,
Or they start to get too comfortable and start to want to save you, like Captain Save a Ho all of a sudden. So, I mean, I know that's just, I think, a Barry or a NorCal thing. I think in other states it's not so much, but out
right.
here it's just like,
Because I know in other states that's all it is black chicks.
yeah, out here it's a no no. And so, yeah, and it's just like wild right now. There's a lot of shit going on in the streets,
Right.
and it's just unsafe. And,
This is common. Say a trick, get a bitch a car, get a bitch an apartment, blase,
hmm
blase, blase. And once you get invested in like that with a trick, a trick think he got power now. He think he have some say so. And he get the repossession shit. He get the
hmm
taking cars back and, putting eviction notice and shit on doors. You ever dealt with something like that?
I did have a trick that tried it, but the thing is I always let him know there was pimping. Um, but what I would do is just switch the shit out of his name really quick so it's in mine, you know, so you
Right.
can't take it back. But they do get possessive over you, like they get mad when somebody call your phone, like, chill, what are you doing?
Right, right.
Yeah.
You've dealt with stalkers?
Mm, I don't think so. No.
No,
No.
no.
Mm-mm.
This is a real question right here.
Okay.
Um, STDs. How did you deal with that?
So I always used a rubber, but you know, things happen where it could bust, or you know, I've been raped and shit like that. I immediately just go get tested. I was getting tested as much as possible, like once a month, more than that. But that's, you don't let a trick do nothing to you raw. Like you just don't. And if it happens by accident, you better go handle that. I was blessed. I was lucky. None of that shit happened to me, but it can happen.
So being a prostitute, right,
Mm-hmm.
and getting raped,
Mm-hmm.
um, do it affect you differently, or it's like that was just a fuck for free? I'm back outside.
Yeah, it's just you just got it for free. Like fuck you. Like you just took some pussy. All right, gotta go back outside. But I think that's where a lot of times having somebody there to kind of motivate you, because if you don't, you gonna sit in that. Like there's no time to sit in that. I gotta go.
Right, right. To the young lady that's watching this, she's flirting with the game. She want to get in the game. What would you tell her? What would your advice to her be?
Mm, I would tell her that make sure she's ready for this, because it's not something everybody can do. You really have to be mentally strong to not um, fall apart when shit gets hard, because this shit is not easy, you
Right,
know. So make sure you're ready for it. Have a support system that like you can connect with, communicate with, whether it's, you know, pimping, friends, whatever. You need somebody that you can trust out there, and don't get caught up in what anybody else tells you you should be doing.
mm, that's deep. That's deep. Would you tell her not to do it?
That's hard for me to say, because when I see somebody that's really struggling and complaining, and um, they feel like they have no other avenue, I would tell them to be careful, but maybe try that. But I also would say if you don't think you can handle it, don't do it.
Everything that glitter isn't gold.
Right? There's a lot of, that's why social media is so dangerous. It glorifies it. These girls posting their traps, posting their nice stuff, not showing that there is hella dark side to this. It's hella dark. And when you first get in the, I mean, when I got in the game, even when I started stripping, you couldn't find this shit out on the internet. You had to
Right,
walk in and figure that shit out and learn and soak up game from around you.
right, right, right. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. Damn, I just lost. I just had a dope ass question for you. Anywho, have you ever been suicidal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say probably when I was at my lowest with drugs, with just everything, all bad things kept happening to me. I would say I felt that. Yeah.
What got you out of that mind?
I just think about all the people I would hurt if I would did that.
Mm,
Like I don't want somebody to find me and be fucked up forever.
right.
You know.
And this was before or after your daughter?
Before.
Before.
I think probably my daughter was also given to me because of that.
Right,
You
right,
know.
right,
Yeah.
right, right.
It was
That's
right before her. I didn't give a fuck about my life or what was going on.
how many young ladies you turned out in your time?
Next question. I would say probably like
Your fair share.
yeah, a couple.
Right,
Maybe like three, I would say. But they were already flirting with the game, like you said. They're already outside but looking lost, things like that. So just kind of took them under their wing. I like to say I'm a nice person. I'm not trying to really like get over on anybody. I really didn't even rob tricks like that.
right.
Like I try to be nice, and then if that don't work, then I'm be mean.
One thing I respect about you, because you can have this conversation and a bitch will be like, you can ask them, like, what's the most you made? What you made? I was making at least 2-3 thousand a night, and woo, like you were just so honest, just like man, like 7, 8, like the good night I had too,
Hmm.
or you feel me, like
Yeah, there's nights you make 100. Like it'd be like that. Yeah.
right, right, right. Bitches be so high power now. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Like you said, it's the social media. It's the that was the question. How do you feel about the Aries of the world, the city girls of the world? Because in a way, they kind of glorify this shit.
They do. Yeah.
How do you feel about them?
I think a lot of people don't realize that that's what they're doing. I don't think a lot of people understand if they don't have that ear for what they're talking about. Because I listen to music and I really be listening to what they're saying, and they talking about all that shit.
Right,
But um, you either understand or you don't. But I think that I don't know, like it is teaching girls to think that they could just get a bag out of anybody or just doing it wrong.
right, right, right,
I
right.
think it's dangerous the way, like, for example, some girls might, let a trick give them head for some money. That's hella dangerous, and that's not a part of the game.
Say that, say
And
that.
and so shit like that happens when these girls are glorifying it on social media. It's
Right,
no ism teaching it to them. Even if it's a bitch that's been in the game for a long time, that's ism right there. You know?
right.
Yeah.
What make bitches choose?
Seeing what people's program is, seeing the hoes, seeing how they're doing. Um, a lot of times girls will come around just to peep a person's program, see what they're on, how they act. Are they hella mean? Are they nice? Are they trying to kiss them in the mouth? Or like all kind of stuff. So um, I can't speak for the next person, but I just can't see myself choosing right now for anybody. Yeah.
So, when niggas be riding by, popping their little shit out at bitches, woo, 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 do you listen? Of course you
Um,
hear it, but
Well, at the time, like I was under pimping, so I feel like always stayed in pocket. Like, of course, we hear it, but sometimes they say funny ass shit. But you gotta stay in pocket.
right, right,
You
right,
gotta
right.
look down. You gotta keep walking away. But
Have it ever been a time you used one of the numbers?
no,
Okay.
mm-mm. I was actually never a choosy hoe at all. Yeah.
Right, right. Man, it was great sitting here talking to you. I wish I could pick your brain some more because
Yeah.
you're a very interesting young lady, and
Thank you.
it take courage. It take a lot of guts to sit up here and be so freely with it. And not only are you being honest, but you damn near saving somebody's life right now. You get what I'm saying?
I do want to say something about that if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
So recently it is actually getting really dangerous out there, and recently there was a girl that was shot on the blade. I think it was
Mm,
last week, and it's just getting really dangerous out there on the blade. I work for a company called Progressive Transitions, where that's actually how I got all my. Um, every time I got arrested, it got cleared through this program. So we just be going out, passing out condoms, just saying what's up to the girls, letting them know there's somebody to talk to if they need to. And so we were just told recently there was a girl shot out there. I guess there's these guys trying to be pimping pulling up on girls and shooting up in the air. And so, allegedly, at
Yeah.
least. But I think that if you feel unsafe, there is resources out there. This is all supposed to be by choice, not by force. And when that's happening, it's also getting real dangerous.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. What's up with the niggas with the minors?
That's out of pocket. That's not even part of the game. I
Right.
feel like nobody likes the minors outside. The bitches don't, the dudes don't. You bring police around. I know, at least for me, when we were out there, we would tell the bitches to go home, ask them if they cool, otherwise get out of here, because you bringing police around and whoever's your folks is bootsy.
Right,
That's just not. I know it used to. I feel like when I was younger, that type of shit was more accepted, but nowadays it's just not cool to me.
Right. It's some big name niggas out here who play with children.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah.
Yeah, I never respected that at all. Like I couldn't fathom that.
Yeah.
I have little sisters and shit, and little cousins and shit, and I couldn't fathom somebody having them outside because they developed early.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I can't fathom somebody having them outside. Just I don't know. Like to me, that's like suicidal. I'll go kamikaze the way of the samurai. Like somebody got my 15-year-old sister like on a blade, like, and then I'll feel like I failed as a brother, or you get what I'm saying, as an uncle or anything. Like that's just not.
Because at a certain age, they're making their own decisions.
Right.
But
right.
underneath, then you're only being manipulated. So that's just not cool.
Right. If you can go back in time right now and tell an 18-year-old you something, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to stay focused, not let drugs be a factor at all. Don't try any hard drugs at all. And have fun, but remember, you got to stack. If I stacked my money correctly, I would feel like I would be way different right now.
Right.
So stay focused on all that and just stay strong.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where do you see the game in 10 years?
Oh, God. That's a good question. Where do I see the game in 10 years? Just a lot of renegades. Do
you think ism will still exist?
No.
No?
It's a dying breed, I feel like. I mean, it'll be around, but a lot of the old heads, I feel like, are not really teaching the youngsters it, And that is also a responsibility. If you see them getting all these girlfriends and doing all that, somebody got to talk to them.
Definitely. Well, Miss Nadia, I appreciate your truths. I appreciate your time. Definitely have to run this back because this is a very matter of fact. I'm a damn near give you your own podcast.
Period.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the goal for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because I definitely think that you got a lot of game and you got a good head on your shoulders, and you can definitely help our culture in a good way. So we're going to conversate off camera. I think you should have your own seat because, yes, people need to hear your story. And
I appreciate
my little sister, she always told me great alley hoops. And I appreciate her for that. Like, definitely, because like I said, this was a conversation that I've been wanting to have, and this is a conversation that need to be heard. You get what I'm saying? Because there is a lot of women out there that's misrepresenting our culture. You get what I'm saying? And they're playing with a lot of young ladies' lives because these young ladies is looking up to them. They're following them as role models, and they're not great role models because, like you said, they're showing you the traps and they're showing you all the glitter and gold, but they're not telling you the dark side, the long, cold, and miserable nights and the rapes and the kidnaps. And you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not saying that part. So definitely appreciate you. Is there any platforms you want the people to reach you on?
Yeah, for sure. So my Instagram is Cherish Beauty by Nadia. It's actually my business page. I do lash extensions now, and I sell lash supplies.
Okay, that's raw. Look at you.
Yeah, I think you interviewed my friend Taylor. She's Ava Lash Coach. She was my mentor, and I got to give her flowers for that. But we've, I'm
Definitely
running
shout
it
out
up.
Ava.
Yeah, and I'm just running it up right now. So Cherish Beauty by Nadia. You guys can always message me. I get back to everybody. A lot of girls have messaged me that have been in the game or have done it because of survival mode and are now doing different things. They reach out to me all the time. So
All right.
reach out to me.
Nadia, thank you. I appreciate your truths.
For sure. Thank you.
Low Blood TV, over and out.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.